Attention all personnel. Attention all personnel.
Malfunction thing is a big understatement. And the whole place is shaking. Obviously, there's some kind of error. Yeah, this is good. Very good.
King Hondo!
Say, Lala Roo.
You're not biting her head off, but as far as Lala Roo goes, you're being as cold and as harsh as you can. Just slightly, just to give it a little more volume.
Okay.
What's that?
That was great.
I wasn't really trying to do comedy so much as I just...
Let's watch that.
His expression didn't look like seriously in pain. I just didn't want to have it be...
You're right.
When people talk to each other, I always think
I like that one.
You know, that first react was perfect.
Yeah.
It's the second one. Amelia, where are you? And I just had a fantastic idea. It should be very much opposite of your situation.
But it instantly pulls you in, and from the get-go, this was a very different anime from any of the other ones that I've worked on or I've even ever seen.
Well, now and then, here and there is an exceptionally powerful show. Definitely the best anime I think I've ever worked on.
I won't whip someone who can't fight back.
The integrity of the writing is just amazing. The content of the show is pretty intense, and what I particularly like about it actually is the animation is really simple.
You start watching it, and it's very strange. In the beginning, the first episode, it's very light. And it's a little silly, and it almost seems like, oh, this is going to be a comedy. Oh, okay, how much fun, you know?
Ah!
But then as the show gets really hardcore, that simplistic animation kind of is a great juxtapositioning of kind of like the youth that's being destroyed.
I wish that I had never been born!
No!
It was very enticing getting this one, because this one looked like something that you could really sink your teeth into, and it was actually going to require some serious acting, far more than any other show. And not to say that a show like the Ping Pong Club, being my other favorite anime show, doesn't require good acting. It's a great show, and it requires, you know, good comic timing and all this, but now and then, here and there, it takes it to a completely different level.
Well, for the auditions, we had to pick some really interesting sides.
I basically went in and I said, I need emotional scenes. I need strong scenes that are going to be very, that are just going to really show the character's range.
This one monologue rant that Hondo had in that scene really sums up his character for the whole show, because it went from his rage to his vulnerability to his insanity to his friendliness to his brutality.
But there were those who failed to comprehend our sublime ideas.
We needed to hear Hondo do that roller coaster that he does.
Now they're scheming to assassinate me. I cannot let this go on!
You know, how he, in the course of one sentence, he'll start out, absolutely calm and gentle like Mr. Rogers, and all of a sudden he turns into Hitler and starts screaming. And that's what we needed in the auditions.
Not when the world peace is finally about to be realized under my reign.
The audition side that we picked for Shu was another challenging one, I thought.
Lala Roo! Where is Lala Roo?
For other characters, sometimes you're looking more for voice quality than you are for a particular acting quality, so basically you just need to hear them speak. But in this, you know, we needed to hear Shu get his ass beat, because that happens tremendously, and he really needs to be able to express that realistically.
If they could nail that, that was the person that could do that part. Because the whole show revolves around Shuzo Matsutani. If you don't believe that he, I don't know, has the power to get through this whole madness, then, you know, you're not going to buy into the story.
Ouch! Ow, that hurts! I don't have the pendant, I lost it!
So a character like Shuzo Matsutani, played by Ed Paul, he was Shu. He just embodied that character.
You know, I've done a lot of anime, and you know, it varies from one title to the next as to what the story is, what it requires, what the character requires. I would definitely say that Now and Then is the toughest role dramatically that I've had doing anime, because it requires a lot.
Oh, right, it actually does look like he's doing something. So right on the attack.
I don't have Lala Roo's pendant. Why are they shooting at us?
Put a little more volume.
Okay.
What's that?
I think what makes great, you know, in cinema or TV, you know, it's all about the characters. Can you identify with these characters? Can you invest emotionally from yourself into these characters and choose a good person to get on board with?
I would characterize Now and Then as more about the journey of a young man and how you see his take on life, which is relatively simplistic at first.
I'll win someday. Yes, sir. As long as I'm alive, I'll have my day.
And he kind of holds on to it. You know, he keeps saying to his friends during this journey that he has, he keeps saying, you know, hold on, everything's gonna be okay. I just know everything's gonna be fine.
And no matter what happens, he gets dumped into a big pit of crap. As it dumped on his head, he gets beat up, and he's still like, he still got the get up and go to, and the inspiration to try and, you know, make things right. And he never loses that no matter what. There's a couple of times when he seems to waver, a couple of very good, powerful scenes, but basically no matter what, he insists that he can always overcome. And, spoiler, he does.
You can do it! I know you can!
Lala Roo she's the central figure in this whole series. She's the catalyst that basically gets everything moving. And she doesn't say anything.
She's a lot of subtext, a lot of what's going on behind everything like that. So it is more difficult, and she's putting a lot more into a smaller amount of saying things.
I don't understand what you mean.
I mean, you're all alone in the world.
I'm used to that.
When people are through killing each other, I always end up alone.
I think,
Yeah, she sounds a little too self-pitying.
well, I also feel like the I'm used to that sounds like you're comfortable with that. And you may be used to it, but you're not happy about it. So I don't want to hear, I feel like it's a little more, oh, I'm used to that, like it's no big deal. Whereas it should be, oh, I'm used to that, like it sucks, but that's been my whole life.
See, it's interesting because I think, especially my character's a little different take of the way that the world is than everybody else's. And it's funny because she's the one person who, in a sense, kind of brings hope to the place. But you can tell by the way she reacts that she's basically given it up all herself.
It's about hope, about trying to, never give up hope, trying to keep having hope that things are going to turn around, even as god-awful as things can be. And her being basically the key to this hope, but she is a completely hopeless character, or at least that's how she feels.
That's when you got kind of pissed off at everything and everybody. And this is the same thing. She's trying to humanize you. You don't want to be human. You got to listen to the actor, and they're actors for a reason, because they have insight into things that I don't as a director.
People attack her, people do things to her. Like in the scene, like Sarah comes at her, and she doesn't fight back. She's beyond that point.
Sarah! It's all your fault! It's all your fault! You did this to me! It's your fault!
Stop it, Sarah!
She seems to, even though she's the one thing that seems to be able to bring things to the place, she doesn't seem to feel the need to struggle against things.
She's a very existential character, where basically life is happening to me, and no matter what I do, it doesn't get any better.
It's a weird kind of like perspective of the human spirit.
You're not running away again, and you will cooperate with King Hamdo.
Something I've never seen in an anime is definitely, there was just a Shakespearean feeling to it all because of the tragic heights and lows that it went to. Hamdo is a classic Shakespearean character, I think. He's just the ultimate madman.
He doesn't have both feet on the ground.
How dare he defy me, the little bug! The bug!
King Hamdo, please calm yourself, sir.
Amelia, the whole world is conspiring against me, trying to strip me of all I have.
Just wants power, wants respect, and he's got his sidekick Amelia, who does all his kind of grunt work for him. So he's a nut. He's insane. His insanity is definitely part of him, and I think he just embraces the whole thing. Which one moment he can just be just kind of normal, and you even hear him all the time. He keeps saying, he goes, "Uh-oh."
This is bad. This is very bad, Amelia.
I'm sorry, sir.
This is terrible.
You know he's about to launch into something that's just going to be vile and just violent and just evil. And he gets a kick off of that, and he likes feeding that in there.
Excuse my interruption, King Hamdo.
Amelia, did you find it?
I'm afraid we haven't, sir. Not yet.
You haven't?
Amelia's character is very strong.
Failure will result in execution.
The character of Amelia, played by Dana Halstead, who we'd never worked with before. I think this was like the first time that she's done this.
How did I feel coming into this as a rookie and this being my first time experience with all these experienced voiceover people? I was terrified, and I sat home and I watched the tapes and I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna get all these words into such a little space? And then I calmed myself down, I came in, I took a deep breath, and it happened, it just worked. Everything kind of fit. It just kind of felt right, it just ran smoothly.
She was incredible. She also scared the shit out of me, actually. Whenever she got angry, oh my God.
Open up the gates. Do it now!
We needed the actors to have a little time, watch the show in Japanese, read along with the script, understand this is who your character is, and really flesh it out as an actor would do if they were doing something, in theater.
It was funny because I was doing things on the way in sometimes that were helping me get into character, not on purpose, but like yelling people on the subways and stuff. Like I was at Dunkin' Donuts trying to get my coffee, and this lady, and she just jumped in front of me, and I was like, out of my way!
Out of the way!
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I gotta settle down here. But it helped.
It's just we just gotta get a little more specific.
Yeah.
With, the first one is he's whacking your hand. And the second one, and they're right on top of each other. It's whacking the hand there, and then boom, his head goes into your.
I couldn't see it.
Yeah, it's so quick.
She's a very tough person, and I think she's tough because she's never had any kind of love or support in her life. No parents.
I want that deserter shot. Full speed ahead.
I'm kind of coming to the assumption that she's like all those other children in Hollywood, that she was raised there. So she has no sense of a home, being grounded. You know, this is the life that she's led.
I think that she's in love with
Not you.
I will never turn against you, sir. I'm your faithful servant.
And I think King Hamdo is not capable of loving. And there's this person that just kind of comes at him and just loves him unconditionally. Whether he beats her or throws her down or slaps her or talks gently to her, abuses her in all manners of, well, that you can be abused. But yet she still comes back.
Maybe she kind of has like a weird kind of father figure abusive relationship with him. I mean, people stay, you know, close to people that hurt them the most sometimes.
Oh, Amelia, please. Please forgive me. Knowing how much you've done for me, how could I? How could I? Oh.
Please don't give it another thought. It's my fault for failing to meet your expectations, King Hamdo.
Well, in Utanai I play Sayonji. And he's also in power. Starts out in power and is very power hungry, just like Hamdo, very power hungry. They're both on the same plane. I think the difference is Sayonji has a soul, whereas Hamdo, on the other hand, will not be complete unless he gets everything up and running, unless Hollywood is going full guns, and that's his quest. If that doesn't happen, death.
And now, this whole world will be mine to rule. Just you wait. I'll show you, Zari Bars! I will kill you all!
The entire show really comes together in such a masterful way, all the aspects of it. And I really felt this recording the final scene with Hamdo, Belia, Shu, and Loaru. It was just those performances, those characters, and at that point everyone was so realized and so in their roles that there was almost very little I had to do.
One of the best scenes in this whole series comes right at the end, where basically everything comes to a head. Everyone's little subplots sort of come crashing together.
King Hamdo!
Creation of a fantastic character. Awesome.
I think you'd be very hard pressed to find an anime that has acting that's this good.
We do lines 100 times over sometimes, and there were moments when we were just so moved that we had to stop recording.
It's rewarding as an actress because it's good and it uses a different kind of muscle.
The piece is really kind of an actor's piece, and it's great. It's a lot of food for an actor to eat.
Now that I'm all done, it feels great. I'm really, really psyched to see the whole thing come together. I had a lot of fun. was fantastic.
What was really amazing about this whole show is that all of these moments came together so beautifully because of what the actors brought to it and because we worked with such fantastic actors. Everyone really cared about what they were doing. Everyone believed in the show, which was absolutely essential. And I loved working with everyone, including the actors, the engineer, Tom. It was just a fantastic experience and definitely one of the best shows I have ever seen.